What is going on, young men between 18 and 29? I am the over 50 guy. I want to talk to you about your credit. Okay? I want to talk to you about your credit today. You know, when I was your age, I had one credit card. It sent me something in the mail. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I got this card and I can go out and get gear for the Friday night college dance and didn't have to pay any money for it. And I'm sad to say that was the extent of my knowledge on credit back then. I had no idea the power of credit and what it can do for your financial well-being. So if we're talking about building ourselves as young men, this is the time where you take credit serious and you build it to the point where you can use it to build your wealth and consequently to build yourself. I had an old friend at the gas company I used to work at, JV, Jerry Varmer. Jerry used to say to me all the time, I don't have a dime, but the bank got plenty. And what he means by that is that, if you have good credit to access the money that the bank has, then you're going to be in good shape. The problem that I had back in the day, and I'm sure a lot of men of my age had, we just didn't know any better. We didn't know that we could use credit as a tool to, really further us. I want you guys, to start thinking about that hard now. Credit, like getting my credit in order and not just out here frivolously using it for bullshit, which is what we did. Like I said, and my mother begged me. The bills would come to the house, and you know what? You're going to need your credit. Pay these people. You're going to need your credit. And I ignored her and paid the price for that later on in life. So yes, building credit. Let me give you an example of how having good credit can benefit you. Because, again, if you were doing what I was doing at 20 some years old, you're chasing women, you chasing coochie, you ain't thinking about no house, you ain't thinking about interest rates, you're not thinking about, things like that as far as your financial health. Guys, do you know I had owned a house? The first house I bought, I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s. It is sad to say that I had no idea about principal and interest. And I had bought a property, sat down at a title company, did that whole thing, signed a shit ton of papers and had no idea how my credit in that could impact what I was doing with that house. So guys, when you have good credit, you can get things with a lower interest rate, which means a lower payment. And it saves you money to have better credit. When you go to get a car, they give you an interest rate based off of a credit score. So if you have a fucked up credit score, you're going to get a fucked up interest rate. And again, that is them making money off of you because you have such a high, or because your credit is bad. If your credit is good, better interest rate. That's number one. If your credit is good, listen, you are not going to save your way into wealth, right? You have to invest your way into wealth. Let me show you what that looks like. When I was you guys' age, we went out and bought a house because, we had a wife, we had kids, and we had to, buy a house for them. And sadly, I was not looking at it like you should be looking at it, which is, while you have to buy a house for your family, and that is true, you also need to be looking at that as an investment. Now, how does that go? That goes, you have your credit together. You go out, you get a decent house, decent interest rate. You stay there a little while. That house appreciates over time because your credit is good. You can sell that house, make a little money, go get a bigger house, or a house that's worth more. When you have some money now to put down on your other house, you make money off of that house and you just keep building. You just keep building. So your house can be an investment, and you will never save. You can save that money for the down payment. I'm talking $20,000-$30,000. You know how long it'll take you to save that under the best of circumstances? So this is how you can use your credit as a tool. You know, you want to invest in a business. You need a business loan. They're going to give you that loan based off of your credit. So I would encourage you guys to Google search the relationship between credit scores and interest rates, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, it's so very important. And again, when I was your age, I was thinking like a 20-year-old. Instead of thinking that, you know, I'm 20 now, but one day, I'm not going to be 20 forever. So I need to start doing stuff now that's going to set me up for later on. I was thinking like a kid. Oh, I can go out and get an outfit. I can go out and get a necklace. It's bigger than that, man. It's so much more bigger than that. And if you don't get a hold of this now, you will spend a better part of your 30s and 40s making up for it. Don't do that, guys. Take your credit serious, because it's a serious thing. Let me give you a couple of suggestions of what you can do if either you have a credit card that you've been messing up, or you don't have one, and where you can start building your credit, right? If you don't have a credit card, and you're between 18 and 29, I would recommend you apply. They should be sending you stuff left and right. If not, Google search unsecured. It's either unsecured or secured. It's one of those cards. Is a card where you give them money. Like, say they give you a credit card, you put $500 on that credit card of your own money, and you use that $500 like it's a credit card, and you use it and you pay it off every month. Now, it sounds crazy. Why would I give somebody money if I want to, get a credit card that has a limit on it in that? It starts you establishing payment history. And you do that for a time, and eventually they would change that unsecured or secured to a secured, where now they're giving you a credit limit. That's the first thing. If you get the credit card where, they're giving you a balance, here's what you do. This is critical. You don't use that card for clothes and jewelry and bullshit like that. You use that card for gas, right, in your car. And you keep the money that you normally would have paid cash for the gas, but you use your card. And at the beginning of every month, when that credit card bill is due, you take the money that you have been saving or that you would have used cash, and you pay that card off. You're not doing the minimum amount. You're paying the entire card off. What that is going to do, man, credit card companies are not making any money off of you when you do that every month. They're making money off of you when you're paying the minimum payment. Now they charge interest on the rest of it, and now you're fucked. You end up in a circle. But when you're paying that card off every month, then they don't make any money off of you. Consequently, they start to give you raises, credit limit raises, because they want you to spend that money to get in that trap of just paying the minimum payment. So if you don't have a credit card, get a secured or unsecured credit card, use it for gas only, and you can start building your credit that way. If you have credit already and you've kind of jacked it up like I did, there's something that you can get. You can get each one of your credit reports once a year for free. You can go to annualcreditreport.com, annualcreditreport.com, and you can get a copy of all three of your credit reports. And you can look on there and you can see where you're at. The credit card that you have, get that paid off as soon as possible, and then go to doing what I just said to do with the first credit card. But you need to get a copy of your credit score so you can see what is on there if you've been using credit irresponsibly. And then you can start repairing that, right? You can start seeing who you owe, what you owe. You can start paying towards that and getting that thing squared away. Listen, I can do an hour long on this because it is really that important. But I just wanted to give you a snapshot, right, of the importance of credit when it comes to building yourself as a man, as a young man. And you need to start doing this right now, right? Because if your credit is jacked up, it's going to take some time to repair. If it's not, you need to take this time to build it. You know, it'll be something you get into your early 30s and you got an 800 credit score. So like my man said, you know, I can go to the bank and do anything that I want, whether it is starting a business, whether it is buying my first property. You would be in so much better shape just by having good credit. Okay? So listen, any questions, guys, throw it in the comments below. I appreciate all the comments you guys have been sending me about the videos. This is all I have to give, so I'm going to keep giving it. I am the Over 50 guy. We'll be back with another one soon.